Hello, everyone, and welcome to another My Music. I'm excited for this one because today I am joined by the wonderful Lenny, who, if you haven't seen Lenny on the Instagram and all of the socials yet, is bringing us that summer feeling. She is making us feel excited to be alive again with her music, which is vivacious, energetic, and most of all, something that you want in your life. Here we are, going to talk to Lenny straight after this.
Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop. Keep on, don't stop.
Lenny, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure. First of all, where do you get all of your energy from? Where do you bring this vibe from?
I think I just like being happy. I don't know. I can't say there's like an exact reason. I just think that music is meant to be enjoyed for a reason. And so if I'm happy, I'd like to make other people happy as well.
Brilliant. Right. We're going to go straight in with the deep question, which needs answering, right? Which is Fatal Attraction.
Yes.
Right? That's a hell of a film, right?
Yes.
That's a hell of a film. Bunnies get boiled in that film.
Yeah, no, that's not exactly what the song's about.
I know it's not. But when you choose to name a song after such a famous film as that, where it's so intense, do you feel the kind of weight of responsibility on your shoulders?
I think, I guess you could say so. I mean, Fatal Attraction is the song and the movie is very intense. It's a very intense and intense emotion. So I guess that's kind of where the weight of it came from. But it was kind of straight to the point, I guess.
Yeah, it is straight to the point. Where do you draw your inspiration from?
I draw my inspiration from many different places. I have a lot of like influences in music that I listen to a lot. Like I grew up listening to Florence The Machine for hours on end. She's kind of where I get like my power from with the belt stuff and everything with the vocal. Yeah, she's a very strong vocalist. But I guess influences kind of just what I experience in day to day, what my friends go through, what my family goes through, everything I kind of experience in life probably leads quite a lot into the songs.
How much of it is you in the song? How much of it's you? How much of it is other people? How much of it's completely made up?
Well, I mean, for example, Fatal Attraction is not a story about me. It's a story from my friend that I kind of took and then created with feelings of mine of like first love and all that stuff and being kind of almost addicted to a person and not really knowing how to feel about it, but kind of just wanting to live because it doesn't have to be that deep all the time. You can just have fun.
No.
Yeah, that story wasn't even based on me. So
did you discuss it with said friend before?
Of course. And they were very happy. They were like,
they were happy. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they were happy that maybe not the best experience for them, where they were like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing myself. Created such a well, in their words, like a fun pop song. So
have you done that often in the past as well? Have you often written about other people's experiences and therefore that are some of your friends slightly wary now? Are they thinking
of everything?
Yeah, if I go out with Lenny over a weekend and something happens, it might get written into a song at some point in the future.
Yes, potentially. I am quite scary when it comes to songwriting. I get when something hits, when something happens, I usually go straight into having a song. But not everything. There are some songs that just kind of come from nowhere. But there's also songs that come from literally everywhere possible.
Okay, so for your friends to kind of calm their nerves or maybe help them recognize when this is about to happen, when you're out and about, etc., and you get the inspiration, what happens? Do you make a voice note there and then in your phone? Do you write something down? Do you write?
I have a songbook that I carry around with me. So whenever I get lyrical ideas, very much that like Disney Channel movie kid going, writing down what I think of. But I also do just use a voice memo. Like there was a couple of days ago, I had a melody idea, and then I ended up writing a whole song on a voice memo, just kind of as I was walking down the beach in Brighton, where I'm based. And then I sent it to my producer, Flo, who's one of my friends, and was like, "Can you make a backing track that works with this?" So it really can just be any time.
Let's get specific about this.
Yeah.
Notebook. Do you have a specific pen that you always use? Is it like I'm imagining kind of like Elle Woods with you remember like Legally Blonde where she has that big fluffy ended pen and whatever that she writes all the.
Probably not, but I wish I had. Actually, no, I have it's always black ink. It's always black ink. I don't like pencil and I don't like blue ink. It makes me feel less creative. But for some reason, there's something very permanent about black ink, and quite a satisfying feeling I have when I like scribble it out and start again. But I know, very random. I'm a songwriter. I can't help it.
No,
but,
I love it. I love all this. If it's extra important and it's definitely got to stay in there, do you underline words? Do you like multiple?
I'm a big user of exclamation marks.
Cool. And do you doodle around your songs?
I do. I have no artistic skill though. I'm atrocious at drawing, so my doodles are also atrocious, and it will be a lot of stars and a lot of hearts. There
we go. We were going to psychoanalyze you then, etc. So it's stars, hearts. Do you draw boxes in circles or anything like that, or?
I guess so. I think that's how I do it. Yeah, I do.
There you go. See, and do you know what that means?
With boxes and circles.
Yeah.
Sure. Is there a specific reason for that?
I have no idea, but somebody out there will now analyze that and probably tell you. It's something I do. It's something I do an awful lot. I do that. The other thing I do, I'm going to illustrate now, is I do a lot of like lines going up and down and across and whatever, and all of that sort of thing as well. I just feel like, I can never read my notes back though. I just write notes and then. Have you ever done that? Have you ever written something down and then you've gone back to it and it's like I can't actually make out what I wrote there?
What I tend to do is as I'm writing the song, I scribble it. I scribble it, go like crazy, listen back to my voice memos, create the lyrics that I want them to be. Because most of the time when I write a song, I'll kind of sing it through and then choose the lyrics that stood out to me and then create the narration of the story. But in kind of when it's done, I'll try to rewrite it so that I have an actual formulated thing to read from, and that's also when my phone comes in handy because I'll write on the notes app the actual official song, and then my scrapbook and notebook can have all the different ideas I had.
We love kind of getting right into the songwriting process. It's great. It's incredibly creative. How often does it change, or bits of it change by the time that it's gone through the whole process and it's produced at the other end? Do you find that once you start putting top lines together, or you start putting melodies together, and then do you produce it, by the way, or you got producers involved in this?
I have producers involved. I'll make a demo, but I am nowhere near good at production to be doing it myself.
That will happen. That will happen with time as you watch them and copy them.
So yeah, I now know what I want, but how I'll describe it will be one of my drummers that I work with hates it because I'm just can you just do bap bap, and he's like, I don't know what that means, and I'm like, what
you got to do, Lenny, is you got to learn to kind of mouth drum.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So just go sort of I want the.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'll get there one
day. That's what I want.
Okay.
Sounds like that.
Start doing that. Yeah.
It sounds like the microwaves playing up and that sort of thing. So as that process happens and they start putting together the layers and everything else, and you start putting the melody over the top of whatever, and then you suddenly realize that some of those words might be a bit awkward, or in terms of how they might scan or whatever. Do little things get changed, or do you try and keep the words as close to the original as possible and try and shift everything else around it? Do you know what I'm saying there?
I think it is very much on a case by case basis. There's certain songs that have gone through many different lifetimes before they get released. Like there was a first version, and then there was like the second version and the third version, and then there was a reproduced version, and then it mixed master. So many changes can happen. Whereas there is other songs that I write that are so like vulnerable and personal. I won't change really anything. I'll be like, that's the melody, that's the lyrics, that's the content of the song, that's how I want it to sound, and then we'll just kind of make everything fit around it. It's kind of just the sentiment of the song, because something I find is that when a song's wrote to be from a very authentic place, it really shouldn't necessarily be changed that much, because that's where you kind of start losing the power of the song. You kind of lose the emotion and the vision of what it was meant to be. So it really is dependent. Like, I'll write a massive pop song and that will be changed. But if I write any kind of piano ballad or anything, that typically stays the same.
Cool. In your tender years, young that you are, young whippersnapper, what have you learnt so far? What's the biggest lesson you've learnt so far that has really kind of altered the way that you see music writing?
I think know that not every song is good.
Massive one.
Yeah. When I first started writing, I would get really, really upset with myself when I was like, oh, it's not hooky, or there's nothing that's like, yeah, someone's gonna love that. Not every song is for everyone else. Not every song is to be released, and not every song is good. You write really bad songs and then you'll get a really good one, and it just happens, because not every day you're going to be as creative as you were the other day, and sometimes inspiration just doesn't happen, and sometimes it just isn't a good song, and that is all right. There will be a good song that comes after.
Okay, so you're of the Ed Sheeran school of like, turn the tap on and the dirty water comes out, and you've got to leave it to run, and you've just got to keep writing, and it gets better and better and better.
I think if you beat yourself up about it too much, you're less likely to get the good song. So you have to kind of understand that songs exist for a reason, and sometimes a song is purely just for you to figure out what you're thinking. Like, there's many songs I wrote where I was like, I didn't even know I was feeling those emotions, and then the next day I'll write a proper song which was like, that was my emotion I was trying to understand.
What song that you've written so far surprised you the most about you?
Well, there's a song that I haven't released, but it's called 15, and I play it live because it's one of my favorite songs. But I started off with an idea thinking it was going to be like another Fatal Attraction pop song, something like I've released before. But then it ended up being one of the most personal songs. And I was like, oh, this is a completely different reason for writing it. And it was all about how I was kind of in a similar position, but I was so much older. But since it's called 15, it's about like how I was when I was 15 and the similarities between me and then the complete and utter changes and differences. And it was quite a personal experience for me to like learn about myself and be like, oh, I didn't even know I was feeling this. Like I said, sometimes it just happens and you just have no idea. But I process things through music and through the songs I write. So I'll just learn things about myself.
Well, that is kind of the beautiful thing about songwriting, though, in some respects, especially if it is quite personal like that. That it's you are laying bare at any given time the kind of scrapbook of your life.
Yeah.
Is there not from a musical point of view, but is there anything that you've written in the past where you've then looked back at it and go, oh my gosh, embarrassing?
Yes, there's so many. Like there's songs that genuinely, like, I'm like, oh, that wasn't great. Or there's songs that I've released and they've created a whole new meaning that now is just like, oh god, you just really weren't aware of anything. Like, there's a song about I released in 2023 when I first started properly releasing, called Reflection, and I love that song. It's not my best song, but I absolutely love it. It carries such a special memory from that time of my life. But now I listen to the lyrics and I realize what they're about, and I'm like, oh dude, you just had no clue. You had no idea what you were singing about. But now I know, and that's quite nice.
But there's a beautiful naivety in there as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
What are you, I mean, you said musically you were attracted to like Florence because of her voice and I mean all of that wonderful orchestration and everything else. But what are you attracted to as a listener other than musically? And maybe like lyrically, what are you attracted to?
I mean, I'm quite a magpie when it comes to lyrics. I like hearing interesting sentences. I like hearing the way people
Mm.
can say something, because a big part of me, when it comes to songwriting, is like metaphors, and I love hearing metaphors that people use, and I like deciphering what things could mean. And so when a song is like interesting in a sonic way and on a lyrical basis, it's like, oh, I like that. So there's a lot of though I wouldn't say I'm anything like Lizzie McAlpine. Her lyrics are like so interesting to me, the way she states things, and that will probably be what I listen to most, because I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have thought to say it that way. So I like listening out to things like that.
Okay, if we dived into your playlist, what would be the biggest kind of surprise to us, maybe?
Oh, you know what? I'm trying to think. The biggest surprise. I have my playlist here, actually.
I love that. It's always good when, because otherwise people go, "Oh, I can't remember. I can't remember
No,
what it's
no,
called."
no. I'd rather just grab it. I have a massive playlist of every song I've kind of ever liked.
Oh, I like that.
Just because it does, they don't. So none of it makes any sense. Like I'll go from Phineas and straight into Alex Warren, Alex Warren, and then Nothing But Thieves, and then Red Leon. There's so many just random songs.
That was a very up and down day.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I just like this song and then this song. I think one that might Say Something by Justin Timberlake and Chris Stapleton. No one seems to understand why I love that song so much. I don't know why.
Why do you love that song so much?
It's so fun. I don't know if you've seen, there's an acoustic like video they did on YouTube where there's like a bunch of like almost a gospel choir, and it's like a walkthrough video or something. That was just so cool to me. I was like, I want to do that. I love how they've done that, and I love how their voices blend. And I know I'm not the biggest Justin Timberlake fan, but that song's really cool. I don't know why. I just love that song.
He did do quite a lot of parody songs though at one point. He did all of the songs with Lonely Island, didn't he? Which were, do you know that? He did the songs with Lonely Island, like and Lady Gaga as well. There was the song about having a threesome, which was quite funny.
I love
yeah, you should check that out. It's okay when it's in a freeway. That's a song.
I love that. I love where songs can go. Sometimes they just have to be silly, and it's fun, and that's okay.
It was just it was a comedy kind of song, and he did a couple of songs with Lonely Island. Did you think that's an important part of being a serious artist as well, is to enjoy sending yourself up to some extent, or enjoy being able to look at yourself and not take you too seriously?
I think this industry is very difficult to go into if you're going to take yourself that seriously. Obviously, I am 100% working hard and non-stop towards my dreams of like actually doing this full time and making a career out of this, and being
which is going to happen. Let's manifest it now. Yes,
I'm working hard enough that hopefully I'll have a chance. But I think not everyone's going to like every song. As long as you love your songs, it's okay. I wouldn't be able to release a song like Fatal Attraction, which honestly makes me laugh every time I listen to it, if I had taken myself so seriously. But then there are songs that I'm like, oh my God, they're my babies. I'm not sure I can release them. But then I just don't, and that's all right. That's mine.
I love that. If there's a song out there in the grand ether of songs from the present and the past or whatever that you wish you could have written, what would it have been?
Oh, songs I wish I could have written. Probably just anything by Fleetwood Mac.
Right.
Like, I just think the kind of way they craft every song, I would love to be able to craft something the way they've done that. Like, as a two-piece. That's really interesting to me.
Are you more of a go your own way, or are you sort of like Little Lies, or?
I'm more the Chain, I think.
You're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big song.
Yeah, that's why I'm more the Chain. But there's a bridge in that bit that's just so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you wish it, so if you could cover the Chain with somebody else doing the like the male parts and whatever in that, who would you choose?
I'm not sure. I actually don't know. Like just an artist that's out now or something.
Yeah.
can't think of who would be like, because you kind of need a certain grit. I'm not sure. And all the people I'm thinking of are just, I mean, my brain automatically kind of went to just anyone like Hosier or something because of
Hosier or Teddy Swims or someone like that. That's
I'd be in, you know what? I'd be interested to hear what Teddy Swims would do to that song. I'm not sure our voices would necessarily work that great together, but I would definitely be interested to hear what he would do on that song. So yeah, maybe I'll say Teddy Swims.
yeah. It would certainly have the grit element to it, I think.
Yeah, it would. I just don't know because he's quite riffy. I mean, he's incredible.
Or maybe Rag and Bone Man, maybe.
Rag and Bone Man would be interesting. Definitely interesting on a song like The Chain. That would definitely be.
It would definitely have that. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think it'd be interesting to work with Rag and Bone Man anyway, just to
Cool.
stand in his shadow in the in the recording studio.
Yeah.
Hi, could you just move that way because you're blocking the sun?
So tall. Yeah.
Absolutely. You mentioned there a minute ago, this is serious for you. This is a big ambition. What's the difficult thing at this stage of your journey in terms of trying to get the balance, in terms of taking it on to the next step? What's the hardest thing for you right now?
I think the hardest thing is kind of, I'm at the stage where people have started recognizing me, and I'm very, very, very grateful for anyone that listens to my songs. And it's kind of like, I have to find a way to just keep going, because if I stop for any reason, it's unlikely to happen.
Complacency can't set in.
I can't. And luckily I'm an insanely stubborn person. I'm like stubborn to the max when it comes to wanting to do things. So I've had this dream since I was 3. I've always been singing. I've been constantly singing. I've been annoying my parents with singing for years and years and years. And so I was like, I'm going to do this, and I really want to do it. In the last maybe 2 years, I've been like, yes, I'm definitely doing it. And I've just been working and working and trying to write and trying to work with different people, trying to think of new ways to do things, trying to understand how social media works with promotion, because that's a very different aspect of songwriting. So it's like you have to be authentic, but also like I want to retain autonomy in my music, but I also have to try to hit an algorithm. I think that's probably maybe honestly the struggle. It's like making sure you think about those things.
Absolutely. And the other thing is that it's, I think particularly where you're starting to get that traction and you're starting to get eyes on, and there starts to be a buzz around you, and you're getting that with things like BBC introducing and stuff like that as well, which is fantastic and well done to you. I think the difficult bit next is, on the one hand, trying to keep a sort of great work ethic, level head, know that you've just got to, keep going on and all of that. But at the same time, you've got to not settle. You've got to actually push beyond where perhaps you should be as well.
Yeah.
Are you finding that, especially when it starts to look at, applying for gigs or applying for, if festivals or anything else, what you want to be is trying to almost push above your weight a little bit? Yeah.
I think that's definitely where I am now. Because the main way I've kind of tried to combat it is I've tried to keep coming up with new ways to kind of interact with people, because I wouldn't be able to step anywhere without the people that like my songs. So I try to do like new gigs, but then as I do those gigs, I'm like pushing so it's a headline, and then it's I'm based in Brighton, but I'm doing a show in London. I'm kind of doing loads more in London to push that direction, which I'm like, I don't know anything about the London music scene, but I'm just trying to push that way. I'm aiming for support slots. I'm aiming for things that probably, though I've just left, well, I'm just leaving university right now. I've got my final project due in 2 weeks.
She is doing it, folks. She is doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing my dissertation and it's almost done. So it's like making sure I'm doing all of that stuff while I'm pushing forward and forward and forward, so that I kind of keep my head popping out in front of people, because I definitely can't stop. Like I said, I can't stop.
This literally is really the time for you now then, because once that dissertation's gone, that sort of I suppose the degree is there, and you know that's a backup, but you don't really want to see that as a backup. You want to see that as just part of
It was
your.
something I did. It was something I wanted to do in order to learn more about myself, learn more about my creative self as well, and just how I work with people. Because one massive thing is networking and collaboration, and I needed to be good at both. And I've learned skills on how to kind of.
Listen, it's great to be a student.
Yeah.
For a start, you learn how to find somewhere to live cheap. You learn to do your own washing, do your own cooking, all of that stuff.
I hate it all. I don't like doing washing. It's constant. It's never ending.
Of course it. Well, we live in a house where we've had 5 kids. We genuinely constantly have the washing machine on. Constantly, you know. How the Radford family do it with 22 kids. I mean, well, they have more than one washing machine.
I don't know how my parents have done it this whole time. We've only got 2 of us, me and my little brother. I'm like, how do you do it?
Absolutely mad. But now is really your time. So, you know, we do kind of wish you well going into the future with all of this, because and we'll be, you know, sort of hoping, praying, you know, wishing you into the future. One of the really important things now is sort of getting to know other artists and meeting those friends, because it only takes one decent support slot or whatever to really put it. So are you networking as such now, or beginning to network? Is that what you're doing?
I'm trying my best. I networked my way into an amazing opportunity, which is I'm playing Discover Live with Jodie Bryant, who's recently become a Radio 1 presenter. So I'm doing that in the next 2 weeks, I believe. I think I hand in my dissertation, and then the next day I'm playing Discover Live, which is going to be really cool. And I don't think I would have had half the support that I've had so far if Jodie Bryant hadn't been so lovely and wanting to help me out a little bit. But
there's going to be PR there, and there's going to be possibly agents there and whatever. And
it's a really, really, really good event to have been able to get onto. So I'm ecstatic and really excited about it.
That's brilliant. Listen, if you could do one event in the summer months, like festival or whatever, that is the dream, where would that be?
I think for me, since I went to it so many times growing up, probably Reading. I think I'd really want to do Reading. I went a lot as a kid, and even on any stage, I don't care if it's big. I just would love to be there. Since I'm always there watching, it'd be cool to be able to go.
I'd also love to hear your thoughts on last year was the very first Matchstick festival. Did you hear about that? That was.
I think I did. Yeah.
Which was the first nearly wholly female headlined festival. Would you love to be sort of a spearhead for something like that as well? Yeah,
it's awesome. I think it's amazing that there's more female recognition happening, because I think there's some incredible artists out there, but then it's really nice that there's something for the girls. I think
that's absolutely. If you're watching, organisers of Matchstick, maybe a headline act for this year's festival. If you're doing it again, that would be brilliant.
Really cool. That'd be very cool.
That would be good. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you today. The time has just drifted away, which is what happens when it's fun like this. We wish you all the best. What would you like, or where would you like people to start with in terms of listening to your music, so that we can sort of push them in that kind of direction?
I think I'm going to say Fatal Attraction, since it's the song I just recently released, and it's one I'm really proud of, and I feel like the sound is where I want to go. So have a listen to that, and hopefully you'll like it.
Have a listen to it, folks. Design your own t-shirt, but then buy Lenny's.
Oh yeah, no, I'm working on that at the moment. So
right, she's designing her own t-shirts, but if you want to, if you see her during the summer, turn up with your own Fatal Attraction t-shirt, or if you can, go and get a retro. Try and get a retro one of something to do with the film, but turn up and see her live wearing that. Right, so she knows that you're there to support her. That would be brilliant. Imagine if when you do your event very, very soon, if everybody turned up wearing a Fatal Attraction t-shirt.
That would be a dream come true. That would be so cool.
That would be amazing.
So cool.
We did it once. We did it once at a festival. We asked everybody that we knew to come dressed up as in Mexican sombreros. And it was marvelous. There was just this whole sea of Mexican sombreros in the audience, which was tremendous. There was no particular reason for it. We just
it was just random.
Yeah, we just thought it'd be fun, and we thought we would know which people were there for us, and it kind of worked. So we'd like everybody to turn up for your gigs in the summer with a Fatal Attraction t-shirt on, and then buy your one, which you're in the middle of sorting out right now.
Yeah.
Folks, the wonderful Lenny, do go and check out Fatal Attraction now. If you've enjoyed my music today, then please do go and share it with your friends and family so more people hear about Lenny. And do check out the story behind all of this at mymusicpodcast.com. We will be back soon with more of the same. But until then, have a good time. Bye for now.